We met.
10.
Yeah, we met each other 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I just arrived in Austin. The first thing I did was go to modelmayhem.com and just searched for models, see who the models in the area were. He won,
And I had the crappiest pictures up too. They were terrible images.
they were not the best photos.
They were awful images. I had been in Austin about a year, and I had stopped modeling, and I wanted to start again, but I had lost my entire portfolio due to a horrible virus on my laptop. Didn't back my stuff up. So I had to build it up again. So I joined Modeling Mayhem, and I put up whatever photos I had access to, and
I think you only had 4.
yeah, I wasn't
when I saw your profile.
I didn't even. Yeah, I couldn't even fill all the slots because I had nothing. And we didn't have smartphones back then with the whole selfie action, so I couldn't even do that.
So phones were dumb back then.
I didn't have a good camera.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to build my portfolio. So I put a profile out there, and it was hard. I got contacted by a lot of not so nice people, not so good people. And the photography community in Austin was a lot different then. It was a lot smaller and very, very cliquey and lots of drama. And so I had a hard time. But then one day Jaime contacted me, and we talked on the phone, and I was like, I think this could be good. I like his work, and he seems really nice. And from the very first day, it was like instant creative chemistry. We just had it. It's just, we felt something. We were like, we got to keep doing this because it's magic.
And we did keep doing this.
Yeah, for 10 years.
10 years now.
Yeah.
So
that's that.
there is. We do have a thing. We do have a chemistry or an energy or whatever it is you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I can't really explain it, but it's definitely there.
Mm-hmm. And after 10 years, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we're so we're practically family. We're so comfortable with each other, and there's nothing that I couldn't tell Jaime, and there's no mood that I can't be in around him, And so when we work together, when we're creating photos, I think that shows that I'm very, very comfortable and that I can be myself completely. Even if I am playing somewhat of a character at times, we definitely have times where we create an imaginary situation and I'm sort of playing a character. Even then, even though I am doing that, I'm still, deep down, I'm very comfortable. So I don't hesitate to try new things, or new poses, or new outfits, or new makeup, whatever it may be. And that just fuels the creativity even further.
I just think too that both you and myself can be ourselves around each other, and there's no mask that I ever feel like I'm putting on when I'm around you, just because we know each other really, really well. And beyond that, I mean, we're just friends. We're really good friends. So everything is good. It's like I almost can close my eyes and just go, okay, do something, and I don't even have to look, and I know that there's going to be good photos. I don't even have to. So I wonder how much of our photos is me sometimes. I go, wait, if you could just close your eyes and press the button and it's good, then where do I fit in?
It is you, because it's you behind the camera. It isn't somebody else. So that does make a difference.
I can appreciate that. Yeah, but we have a thing, creatively speaking, and I can't really explain it beyond that. I'm just glad we have it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
And I hope we get to do it for 10 more years, or more.
Or more.
Or longer. Yeah. Shortly after I met Jaime, I knew that he was going to be a lifelong friend. For life.
My recollection of how those fabric shots came around was probably different than your recollection of how they started. But mine was, my initial introduction to them was you and I were at the fabric store looking at fabric, and then you found a little piece of fabric well, actually a big piece of fabric.
It's a big piece.
And you're like, all I heard her, she was like kind of floofing it into the air in the fabric store, much to the chagrin of the older ladies in there doing their fabric shopping. They all turned and looked like kind of, you're not supposed to have fun in here. But Jess is over there going whoosh, 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 and I just remember thinking that's very, very cool. And then we bought a piece of that fabric.
I remember now. We started to look for fabrics to actually just make a dress. And as we started doing it and getting into it, Jaime liked the way the floating fabric worked. So we started to gravitate to just focusing on fabrics that could float well. And
fabrics that had low gravity.
Yeah.
Fabrics that took a long time to hit the floor.
Fall.
That was the most.
So that's where the vision started, and then as it evolved, I started to realize what I could do with the fabric and how I could pose with it, rather than just tossing it in the air. Or, I mean, we tried all kinds of weird stuff. We had fans. We tried a fan first time. That very first time. And then I just started spinning it around, and it was cooler than the fan.
It was a lot cooler.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that there really is no fan being used.
No. It's all just fabric dancing.
It's her throwing it around and moving it, and gravity, and I think because you're on the tiny side, and we're generally working with like a 5 or 6 meter long piece of fabric. It looks like the fabric just envelops you because you're so tiny. And I've tried the fabric shots with other people. It's not as good. It's never as good. I've gotten some okay ones, but no one really works the fabric like you do.
It's all on the wrist.
There is. You made up a name for it.
I mean, there's
whooshing.
We just call it whooshing, and that's just kind of our own little. You know,
right.
It's not a scientific name, but whooshing,
Yeah.
The sound of fabric, I guess.
Yeah, basically, the whoosh.
Or the image of it, whooshing around.
Yeah.
I think the fabric shots have been something we've, in a way, become known for. And,
well, it's definitely our thing. There's no other photographers that I really do that with. I mean, there's photographers that have wanted to do that. And I have to be honest, I hold back. If they're a paying client, I try to deliver as much as possible, but there's definitely a lot I hold back because that's ours. We came up with that.
Get your own fabric.
So I don't want to create copycat images, especially with me in them. So I hold back, and I definitely try to reserve that for our photos.
Oh.
So.
Oh.